Welcome to another sew along. This is part 2 of my 2-part gathered skirt series. In part 1, which I'll link down below, I showed you how to draft a simple pattern for this gathered skirt with a straight waistband, and in this video I'm going to show you how to sew it together. If you're new here, I'm Amy and I teach beginner sewing and dressmaking in Harrogate in the UK, and I also share sewing tutorials and sew-alongs here on YouTube. So I'm going to waste no time and jump right into it. So here I've already pre-washed and dried my fabric, and I'm giving it a good press to get rid of any creases and wrinkles. The fabric I'm using is 100% viscose by Stoff Fabrics, which I bought in Ely in Cambridgeshire. And I'm laying it out on my table, folding it in half so the right sides are together and smoothing it out so it's completely flat on both layers. The self edges are aligned and on top of each other, and then I'm putting my pattern pieces down ready to cut out. The skirt front pattern piece goes on the fold of the fabric, and the skirt back goes next to it. And then I need to cut 2 of my waistband pieces on the fold. I like to weigh the pattern pieces down, and then I draw around them with a friction pen. So you could use chalk here, or you could just pin through your paper pattern onto the fabric and then immediately cut out. But I like to draw around first with a pen because I think it just makes it that bit more accurate. Once I've done that, I then take some pins and pop them in around on the outside of the lines that I've just drawn. Then I take my scissors and I cut them out. So I'm using nice long snips to get a smooth cut edge. And I didn't do this on camera, but once the pieces are cut out, we need to snip a notch into the centre of the front skirt piece at the top and also at the centre of the waistband at the bottom. And this is going to help us align the pieces when we sew them together. Next, I need to cut out my waistband in interfacing. So we've got 2 waistband fabric pieces and we just need to interface one of them. I'm moving straight onto the construction now, so I'm attaching my interfacing, which is fusible interfacing by the way, to one of my waistband pieces with the iron. So I'm applying the wrong side of the waistband against the rough sticky side of the interfacing, and then I'm placing my iron down and section by section just applying heat to it. So I'm not moving the iron back and forward in a sort of ironing motion. I'm putting the iron down and then lifting it up again. And that should ensure that the interfacing is nicely adhered throughout the waistband. And now it's on to the sewing. So the first step is to lay out my front skirt piece right sides up and then put the 2 back pieces right sides down on top of them. So I'm aligning the raw edges and pinning them in place, and then I'll sew them together with a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. At this stage you then want to finish your seam allowances of the seams that you've just sewn. I'm doing that on my overlocker, but you could use a zigzag stitch on your sewing machine, or you could use pinking shears. So overlocking is my preferred option as it's the most secure and will prevent fraying really well, but if you're a beginner or don't have an overlocker, feel free to use any of the other options. So I'm overlocking my seams together, but you can do them separately if you like. And once that's done, it's a good idea to press your seams with an iron. If you've overlocked them separately, you can press them open, or if they're like mine, then just press them to one side. Now let's move on to the gathering. To get nice even gathers, it helps to sew 3 lines of gathering stitches. I've gone ahead and done that here. Mine are at 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch and then 3/4. So you want to sew your gathering stitches at the longest stitch length that your machine can do and leave long thread tails at either end. Now those stitches are complete, we can start pulling them up, which is what I'm doing here. Our aim with this is to reduce the width of the skirt to match the waistband. I'm holding the bobbin threads, the ones underneath, as they pull more easily, and then I'm pulling the fabric along the threads in the opposite direction. I always think of it as pulling it along train tracks for some reason, I don't know why. I will often do this from both sides of the fabric so that the gathers start to meet in the middle and that helps them to even out across the piece. Once we have a good amount of gathering, then we can start to think about attaching the waistband. The first step is to find those little notches that we snipped earlier and align them, which means the centres of both waistband and skirt are matching. Then I moved on to matching the ends, or the corners if you like, of the waistband and skirt. And then now that we have those 3 reference points, we can work on evening out the gathers between those points. So take your time with that and you'll be pleased that you did later on. And once you're happy that they are as even as you're going to get them, pop in some pins. You can even use the pins to create little sections to help with evening out the gathers if you want to do some more perfecting. Then we just need to sew the waistband to the skirt over the gathering at 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Now that's done, we can take out the gathering stitches with a quick unpick. Some people like to sew the gathering stitches in a contrasting colour thread so that it's easier to see which ones to unpick at this stage, but I didn't do that. And this is what it now looks like from the right side. So I'm going to press the waistband and the seam allowances away from the skirt, being really careful not to squash the gathers on the skirt side. Now on to inserting the invisible zip. The first thing I'm going to do for that is to attach a strip of interfacing to the side seams on both sides at the area where the zip is going to sit. So the interfacing is about 1 inch, 1.5 inches wide by the length of the zip, and this is going to stabilise the fabric in that area and help stop it from rippling. Next, we want to take our zip and place it into position on one side of the skirt. I'm putting the zip and the skirt right sides together with the zip stopper at 5/8 of an inch away from the top of the waistband. The little groove inside the zip, right next to the zip teeth, needs to also be sat 5/8 of an inch away from the raw edge of the centre back of the skirt. Then I'm pinning the zip in place down to the end of the zip tape. You can check that you have the zip the right way round by just zipping it up. And it should look like this. At the sewing machine, put your standard zip foot on that looks like this. Then sew down the middle of your zip tape to hold the zip in place for the next step. Now change the foot on your sewing machine to your invisible zip foot. And stitch the zip down, getting the needle as close as possible to the zip teeth. And stitch down as far as you can go. I'm now closing the zip and snipping a tiny notch into the zip tape, which is in line with the seam of the waistband and skirt. And this is going to help us align the other side of the zip when we insert it. And now we can repeat the process on the other side of the skirt. So firstly matching the notch we just made with a waistband and then pinning it in place. And if you close the zip, you can check that it's all sitting neatly. Now that the zip is in place, we need to close up the rest of the centre back seam. So first of all, I'm aligning the hem edges of the centre back seam, and then I'm pinning between that point and the bottom of the zip. I've put a standard zip foot on my machine, and I'm now sewing from the hem edge towards the bottom of the zip. So this bit is fiddly, and you're basically aiming to overlap this stitching with the last few stitches of the zip, like this. Mine could be a fraction closer, but this is what it looks like from the right side, and you can barely see the transition. So next we need to work on the waistband again. So I'm taking the other uninterfaced waistband piece and pressing up about 3/8 of an inch to the wrong side. And now I'm placing that piece right sides together with the interfaced waistband. So that's the one that's already attached to the skirt. Aligning the raw edges and pinning it in place. So at the centre back seam where the zip is, the zip will be sandwiched between both of the waistband pieces. Firstly, with my zip foot on, I'm sewing down one short side of the waistband close to the zip teeth. You should be able to feel them through the two layers. And now with my normal presser foot on the machine, I'm sewing down the length of the waistband to the opposite side. I'll then pivot around the corner and repeat what I did on the other end, sewing next to the zip teeth with my zip foot. Next, I'm trimming down the seam allowances to about half of their width to remove any bulkiness at the top of the waistband. I'm also snipping the corners off to remove any bulkiness in that area too. I then like to open up the waistband and from the inside press the seam allowances open. And this helps to create a nice clean edge to the waistband when we turn it right sides out. And that's what I've done here. So I've turned the waistband pieces so that they're wrong sides together, and then I'm teasing out the corners where the zip is. I'm now pressing the waistband again and rolling the seams so that they sit exactly on the edge, and this will be easier because of the step that we've done previously. Then the final step on the waistband is to stitch in the ditch, or as some people call it, stitching in the shadow of the seam. And the purpose of this is to attach the two layers of the waistband and sew them in place. And finally we're on to the hem. So I've overlocked the hem edge of the skirt, and then I'm pressing it up by about 3/8 of an inch. I decided I wanted it a little longer than my pattern draft, so I'm ignoring the hem allowance that I drafted in that. And here I'm sewing it all in place all the way round. And there's the completed skirt. So I hope I'll get lots of wear out of it over the rest of this summer. It's just a nice, easy, breezy skirt which I can pair with several of the tops that I already have in my wardrobe. I hope you enjoyed this video and were able to sew along with me and make your own versions. If you did do that, let me know in the comments how it went. Until next time, happy sewing!